Is there anyone there? Knock once for yes and twice for no.
Did you find me okay? Are you there? Did you manage to sort your clocks out? I have changed my clock. We are now an hour behind. However, the time of my broadcast remains the same. Welcome to day 27 of 31 days of learning English in October 2019. I really have suffered over the past 24 hours trying to work out how to sort out this problem with the time. Yes, we are now just after 2 o'clock GMT. Does that mean anything to anyone? So I hope you are there. I hope you are watching right now because it's so confusing. All of this with the clocks going back 1 hour last night. So I hope you are there. If you are not there, where are you? So to be serious for a moment, yes, we have put the clock in the UK back. The big clock that controls all of the time here in the UK has gone back 1 hour. So it is still 7 minutes past 2 o'clock. However, it might seem different where you are. Unless, of course, you have also altered your clocks. It's so confusing. Can we just stop doing this? It is far too confusing for us all. So briefly, to explain, what we had before was this: British summertime. So during the summer, we put the clocks forward by 1 hour, and this makes the daylight last longer. We often call it daylight saving time. So when we do this, it means that we get an extra hour of daylight during the summer. And apparently, this is what happens. It gives us 1 hour of extra light, and apparently it saves all sorts of lives. Many lives are saved by this, apparently. So daylight saving time, most people know it as British summertime. However, here in the UK, we then revert. We go back to where we were before. From this, we go to this, which is the original time. Greenwich Mean Time. You can see there, Greenwich Mean Time. The word mean, in this case, means the furthest distance from the least and the most. So basically, it is the middle time. So we are the furthest away from the earliest and also the latest. So that's what we mean when we say Greenwich Mean Time. So we are right in the middle of all of the time zones. Between you and me, I find time zones very confusing, especially when I travel abroad. If you go to another country, and if there is a big time difference, quite often you will get quite confused. And for example, when I used to travel to Malaysia, I would always feel very tired for the first couple of days as I got used to the time difference. So sometimes it's 7 hours difference, and sometimes it's 8 hours difference. It's really quite a confusing subject, I must be honest. So now we have GMT, you can see up above me, just up there. So it's now 2:10 GMT. And that's the way it will be until next spring, when it will change back to British summertime. Dear. I need to lie down on the floor after that. So, hi everybody, here we go. It is Sunday and, yes, we can't have the new day without some lovely fireworks. Of course, it is Sunday. I know lots of people will be feeling a little unhappy because Monday is tomorrow, but you still have your free time. The weekend is still here. Yes, it is still Sunday. We are here today live on YouTube, and we are coming towards the end. The final days of 31 days of live English. The final days are approaching. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and the final day will be Thursday, 2 p.m. UK time. You can catch me over the next 4 days as we say goodbye to 31 days of English in October. Have you enjoyed it? Has it been interesting? I know some of you have enjoyed it. I know some of you haven't enjoyed it. What can you do, really? You can't please everyone. Sometimes I try to please everyone. But as they always say, when you try to please everybody, you end up pleasing no one. So sometimes it isn't worth the effort. By the way, you can have captions if you want to follow my words live. Oh, very clever. You can click the button right there on your screen. So if you want to follow my words, you can. Lots of sport taking place today. The World Rugby Tournament semi-final is taking place today. I think it's Wales against South Africa. Am I right? I'm not sure. Anyway, England won yesterday, so England are through to the final. However, who will they be against? Will they be playing against South Africa or their arch rival, Wales? So that will be very interesting for those who are keen on rugby. A showdown between England and Wales. So that will be very interesting if it happens. Hello to the live chat. Oh, hello, live chat. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten about you. I just want to make sure that everyone is here because I'm sure there will be complaints. Mr. Duncan, why are you on at a different time? I'm not. I'm still on at 2 p.m, but it's 2 p.m. GMT. There it is, GMT. So we've actually changed our clocks. Wow. Oh, hello to Chris. Chris, guess what? You are first on today's live chat. And a big congratulations to you, Chris Morales. I will give you a lovely bow and also a curtsy, as if I'm meeting the Queen. Thank you also to Tomek for joining us today. Rahul Guadalupe. Hello, Guadalupe. I love your name, by the way. I love saying Guadalupe. It makes me feel happy for some reason. Blue Thunder, Nasir. Also, Julie, Nasir asks, please teach us about phrasal verbs. Well, in fact, I have done a lesson all about phrasal verbs. There is a lesson on my YouTube channel. All you have to do is subscribe to my channel and then you can find all of my lovely lessons. So there are nearly 700 lessons on my YouTube channel. Most people don't realise that there are so many. So I urge you to like what you see and also subscribe as well. Please subscribe and like. I know it sounds very desperate, but unfortunately, here on YouTube, we live in very desperate times. So don't forget to like and click and subscribe as well. That would be ever so nice. Hello, Olga. Hello, Lewis. Hello, Maria. Hello, Ahmed. Wow, so many people here already. I'm so pleased to see that you found me. Even though the clocks have changed, we have gone back 1 hour here in the UK. Patrick says, hello. It is now about 16 minutes past 9 o'clock at night in Thailand. So if you are ahead of the UK, then it will be 1 hour later. If you are behind the UK, then it will be 1 hour earlier, as I understand it. It is such a confusing subject, don't you think? Rolfie is here. Hello, Mr. Duncan. The Dominican Republic is live with Mr. Duncan. Thank you very much. Nice to see you here. Hello also to Berlin, Chris Business. Hello, Mr. Business. I hope you are okay. What type of business are you in? What type of business do you do? Or are you pursuing? Some people, especially nowadays, a lot of people want to break away from the traditional way of working. So when we think of working, we always think of going to work in the morning and then we spend maybe 7 or 8 hours at work and then we come home. However, nowadays, a lot of people want to break away from that tradition. They want to break away from the rat race. We think of the rat race as being going to work every day, or maybe during the week you have to give so much of your time. However, nowadays, a lot of people are choosing to create their own businesses and work for themselves. So this would appear to be a thing that is a growing trend even now. So here in the UK, there are a lot of people who are going alone. They are deciding to set up their own business, especially in things creating computer programs, or maybe doing some sort of craft work. No, I don't mean that sort of craft work. She is a model and she's looking good. Not that craft work. Craft work as in creating things such as greeting cards, or maybe t-shirts, or maybe paintings that people create their own things and then they sell them. So that is one type of business that people are creating nowadays. So going alone on yourself, having your own venture, having your own business is something that is very popular nowadays. Hello Pachu, who says Happy Diwali. It is the festival of lights, apparently. Happy Diwali to everyone. And here in the UK, a lot of people are celebrating that as well this weekend. Ciao, Mr. Duncan. Saturino. Hello, Saturino. I haven't seen you for a while. It is nice because today all of us get back 1 hour, so all of us are now a little bit younger. Yes, but the problem is you have to give that hour back next year. So you don't get to keep it, unfortunately. Irene, hello Rosa, hello Celia, hello also to Theo. Hello Theo. The weather here, by the way, is gorgeous today. Would you like to have a look outside? Let's have a look outside. It is a really nice day. So much better than yesterday. We had so much rain. I can't begin to tell you how much rain we had. I will show you in a few moments, because yesterday I went for a little walk and I did some filming so you can see just how bad the weather was yesterday. We had so much rain. And another view looking into the distance, although it looks a little bit dark at the moment over there. The clouds are rolling by. So hopefully that view will look better a little bit later on. I'm waiting for the sun to come back from behind the clouds. However, over there, it looks rather nice. Thanks for joining me today. We are talking about interrogation or interrogative questions. So quite often when we ask someone, we will use certain words. Those words might be when, why, how, who. So words like that, for example. Hello Rosa, hello Alexandra, hello Guadalupe. Nice to see you all here today. So nice to see you here. Hello also to Luis Mendez. I am going to tell you the answer, even if I don't follow sport. It's South Africa. Oh, I see. So I guess that the semi-final has already taken place. So South Africa will be playing England in the Rugby World Tournament Cup final. You can tell that I don't really follow football all that much. You know that now. You know I don't follow football or rugby or tennis. I don't really follow sport at all. Hello also to Pachu. We believe that today or night, Laxmi. I'm not sure who Laxmi is. I'm sure someone will explain. Connell is here. Mr. Duncan, I think all of your students are similar to you. We all love life and we are enthusiastic. Well, sometimes in life you have to be enthusiastic. Even if you are doing something you don't really want to do, you can still be enthusiastic. So quite often, even if you have to do something you don't want to do, quite often you can change your attitude. So I think attitude is everything in life. Whatever it is you are doing, it is the way you see it, the way you view something. And if you don't like it, maybe you can change it. It's never too late to make changes in your life. That's what I always say. Pedro is here. Pedro, also Rosa. Nadia, hello, Mr. Duncan from Paris. Oh, now I know that I have quite a few people watching in France. Many people watch my live streams and they never say hello. Never. Some people are very shy. So if you have never said hello on my live stream before, maybe today is the time to do it. Go on. Go on. Say, hello, Mr. Duncan. It is my first time typing something to you. So go on. Do it now. I might give you something nice in return. So yesterday I went for a lovely walk. I went very close to where I live because we've had a lot of rain, and the rain had been falling for over 28 hours. So we actually had around about 28 hours worth of non-stop rain. And here is the result. I hope you enjoyed that. So, some views that I filmed yesterday on my mobile phone whilst out and about on a walk. So, yes, we've had a lot of rain. It has been pouring down. The rain had been falling for many hours. And there were floods all over the place. So, around this area, there was a lot of flooding. Some of the roads were blocked. And you could see in that video the water was coming down the hillsides. So the things you could see were not rivers. That water isn't normally there. It's not supposed to be there. So you can tell just how much rain we've had over the past few days. Quite a lot. In fact, we had rain for 28 hours without stopping. So that's the reason why. Hello to Pachu. Hello also to Anna. Yesterday I went to the country. I had a wonderful walk and picked many chestnuts. Ooh. Do you like chestnuts? I like roasted chestnuts. They are very nice. Hello, Guadeloupe. My mother lives in a little town, but her house is far away and there isn't the internet. But there are a lot of natural sounds. One of my favourite things, one of my all-time favourite things must be the sound of nature. Last night, I was cleaning my teeth in the bathroom last night and I could hear sheep. So all the sheep at the back of the house last night were feeding in the dark. So they were all awake and they were actually calling to each other in the dark. It was very nice. It was a lovely sound. Not to mention the owls quite often we get lots of owls near the house at night as well. So quite often you can hear them. I like the sound of nature as well. Hello, Rosa. I was thinking of her mother. Oh, yes, of course, Belarusia's mother is not very well. Maybe Belarusia is busy with other things because today in Argentina they are having one of these. So in Argentina right now there is a general election taking place. They are voting for a new leader, a new government in Argentina. So that might be the reason why Belarusia isn't here today, because of the election. Mr. Duncan, you make lovely videos. You are also a good photographer. Congratulations. Thank you, Sylvia. That's very kind of you to say. A lot of people believe and they think that I have other people working for me. I don't. I do everything myself. So all of the videos you see were created by me. All of the camera work was done by me. All of the editing was done by me. So I do everything. So all of the videos, all of the things that you see were actually created by me. Talking of videos, we are going to take a little break and we are going to go back 6 years to this actual weekend to find out what I was getting up to. I thought today I would do some of my lesson sitting down because I've had such a busy month. So I'm going to set my chair up in the garden somewhere. Now let's see. Where shall I put it? You know, one of the most confusing things about the English language relates to how it is used in England and the way it has evolved in the United States. The fear of many students is that if they learn one version, then they will be unable to use the other. Of course, this is not true. Many of the differences between British English and American English are quite small. Yes, the spelling of certain words in American English is different. Colour and labour have no U. Licence has an S instead of the second C. Double letters in words become single. Centre becomes centre with ER at the end. Spelt becomes spelled. Aluminium becomes aluminum. You may have noticed there that despite the different spelling, most of the words are pronounced the same. Ah, but Mr. Duncan, Americans have a different accent. That is utter rubbish. Accents exist within all languages. In Great Britain, the English language is spoken with a variety of accents. All over this country, English is being used in many ways. The spelling is the same, but the accents are not. In the USA, there are various accents too, from one state to another, just like here in the UK. English is spoken with different accents. I have said this before, and I know it annoys many English teachers. There is only one version of spoken English. Accents are not languages. During my time in China, I had a few awkward moments with teachers from the USA who took offence at the fact that I was being allowed to judge an English speaking contest. Why is he doing it? He's British. There is a certain amount of arrogance that goes with that statement. I often found myself on the receiving end of hateful comments and, for want of a better word, prejudice from other English teachers. I see no rivalry between British and American English. As far as I can tell, when spoken, they are pretty much the same. When I watch a US TV show, I don't have the subtitles active. I can understand it because it's English. One English language, one way, no confusion. For some reason, we always seem to get a little emotional when talking about accents. The notion is that a person's accent defines them, but this is not true. Language is a means, it is not who you are. All this talk of division in spoken English just ends up putting unnecessary pressure on those learning it. For English students, this pressure can make learning English daunting. Modern communication has broken down this divide between languages. We can grasp things much faster these days. So remember, there is only one spoken English. One way only. No confusion. Accents exist in all languages. They are all as varied as each other.
Oh, yes, it is Sunday, and there we were going back in time 6 years ago to this very weekend 6 years ago in the garden, talking about some of the differences and also some of the misconceptions about the differences between American English and British English. Don't forget, there is only one English language, only one that is spoken. The differences are often due to the accent that is being spoken. Hello also to Eric. Can I say a special hello to Frankie, 54, who says hello. I haven't seen your name before on the live chat, so maybe it's your first time here. Pedro asks, Mr. Duncan, it will be Halloween on Thursday. Will you be showing Mr. Steve as the ghost? Yes, I will. We will be talking about Halloween on Halloween, which will also be the last day of October, which will also be the anniversary of my YouTube videos being published for the first time. I created my YouTube channel way back in 2006. However, the 31st of October will not be this. This is not happening. I'm not mentioning it. I'm not saying the name. I will not say the name. I refuse to say this. So this is not happening on the 31st of October. However, this might be happening. This might happen here in the UK in December. Is it my imagination, or has the world gone quite chaotic? It's become very chaotic. I think so. Noemi says, Mia, we are voting today in Argentina. Oh, hello there. And there are a lot of people. I had to queue. Queue. If you queue, it means you stand in a line of people. You will wait to be seen, or you will wait to be served. So you have to stand in a queue. Lots of people standing behind each other. Hello also to Frankie. Oh, Frankie is now saying, I often watch your videos, but I still have trouble understanding the oral English. Okay, don't worry. And a big hello to Lorraine in France. It's nice to hear from you. I haven't seen you before on the live chat, so I think I will give you a round of applause. A big happy bonjour to you. Marwa is here. I agree, the accent isn't really important, but the most important thing is that you speak clearly and fluently. Yes, this is something I've always said. For the past 16 years, I've been talking about this in my work. Wherever I was, if I was in the classroom, when I was in China, I would always talk about the importance of understanding that English as a language is one thing. many people become distracted by accents or the spelling of certain words, when in fact you should be concentrating on all of the root words. So when we talk about root words, the common words that occur in English, and those words will appear and occur everywhere. So not just in the UK, not just in the United States, everywhere. So a lot of people do become a little confused or frustrated when they don't realise that there is only one English, so don't worry about American English or British English. Quite often those things become important when you start speaking. So maybe some people like to speak clearly when they're using English. It depends. It is almost like a choice, really. Hello to Rolfie. If all people spoke like Mr. Duncan, there would not be a problem. Oh, okay then. Well, I agree with you. Some people say that I do speak very clearly, but then I am an English teacher. I mean, there would be no point doing this if you couldn't understand me. It would be pointless, to be honest with you. When we ask questions, we are using a form of interrogation. So you are using a sentence interrogatively. So when we are asking questions, there are certain words that we will use to show that information is required. So I might ask a question, but I quite often will require an answer. So we will often use certain words as a way of asking questions. For example, what? What? An occurrence or an action. You might react to it by saying, what? What was that? What are you doing? So quite often we will ask what as a way of finding out an occurrence or maybe something that recently happened. What? What happened? What are you doing? Or maybe, what are you doing tomorrow? So maybe a future event you were also asking about. What? Another one, quite often asked, why? Why? Once again, you are asking for information. Why did something happen? Why did you say that? Why did you go there? Why did you hurt me? Why? Why? So both of these are forms of interrogation. We will ask a question, and normally these require an answer. What did you say? What did you say? I didn't hear you. What did you say? Why did you say that? So in this sense, we are asking the reason for it. Why? So quite often, why is used to get information and also to find out the reason for something occurring. Why did it happen? Why did you hurt me? What did you say? Another one. Again, very common words, and these are all forms of interrogation. Where? Where? Where, quite often, refers to location or the position of something. So you are asking for the location or maybe the position of a thing or a person. Where are you? Where is he? Where do you come from? So quite often when we ask where, we are asking for information about location or position. Where are you? Time is another question we might pose or put forward. When? So when we ask when, we are also asking for information about not position, but time. We want to know when something happened or when it will happen. When did it happen? When will you arrive? When will I be famous? When? So this particular word relates to questions about time. Position. Time. However, sometimes we can also use where when we want to ask a question about a particular time. So this can also sometimes be used to ask a question about time. When is almost always used to describe time or to ask a question about time. Frankly, it is better in English for other people, I believe, but of course it is more practical for me in French. Do you mean the language? Hi, Mr. Duncan. I send you my regards and greetings from Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. Yes, your English is perfect to be understood. Furthermore, you are one of a kind in teaching English direct from its birthplace. It's true. England is where it all started. This is the birthplace of the English language. Thank you very much for that. Hello, Atief. Atief says, sorry, I did not hear the notification. I am late. Don't worry, you are here, and that's all that matters. Mr. Duncan, would you please upload full English grammar courses from basic? Well, the problem with that is everyone else has done that. If I do it, everyone else has already done that. So I always try to do things in a different way, different from other people. So if I start doing a 20-part or 50-part course about English, that will take all of my time. I won't have time to do anything else. And to be honest with you, there are so many people now on YouTube doing the same thing. They are all doing the same thing. They are all teaching from basic English to advanced English. So if I did that, it would take all of my time and I wouldn't have time to do this. So that's the reason why. How? This is another question that you can ask people. How? So the circumstances of a certain thing, the circumstances of a situation. The one thing became another thing. So maybe a change of circumstance. And if we want more information about it, we will often ask how. How did it happen? How will you get here? So if there is a transition taking place from one thing to another, we might be interested to find out how it happened or how it will happen. How will you get here? How can I earn some extra money? So you want to get from one thing to another. How do I get to your house? How? So this is another question when we are talking about the transition of one thing to another. How did you become so unfriendly? How did you become so miserable? How? How did you get from one thing to another? How? Hello to Emilio. What questions are basic topic when English language is studied? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. What questions are basic topic when English language is studied? I think maybe you are giving me an example of the use of when. Well, in that case, we are talking about an occurrence. So when something happens. So in that sense, the word when refers to the circumstances of something occurring. So in that sense, it isn't a question. Here in Mexico, we have changed the clocks too.
to what? Did you go forward in Mexico or did you go back in Mexico? So here in the UK, we have gone back 1 hour. How is Mr. Steve? Mr. Steve is all right. Don't worry, Mr. Steve is still alive and well. How did you find this channel? And this is an interesting question, actually. This is one of the questions I do like asking. How did you find this? Now, over the years, when I first started doing this on YouTube, the channel was very different from what it is now. In fact, I would go as far as to say, I would say 100% that YouTube in 2006 was completely different from the way it is now. Completely, almost unrecognizable in every single way. One of the main things, of course, is the quality of the video. So many years ago, when YouTube was very young, the video quality was pretty bad. First of all, the screen was very small, and also the resolution of the picture was very poor. I think it was about 240p, which is a very fuzzy, grainy picture. So the picture originally on YouTube was small and grainy, very fuzzy. The quality of the picture was not good. Not good at all. And we have the final one. Of all the questions you might ask, who? Who? This is very specific. This is a way of finding out information about a person. Who? Maybe someone broke into your house last night and they stole all of your jewellery. Who broke into my house? Who did it? Who was responsible for the robbery? Who? Who are you? You might not know a person's name. You meet them for the first time. You don't know who they are. You ask their name. Who are you? Who? A person. Who? Who are you? Who are they? Who do you think you are? If you are angry with a person, you might ask them, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? It's normally said at a point of extreme anger. It really is. Would you please show us your first ever YouTube video? My first video is actually on my YouTube channel, and I was actually filming inside my house in China. So that is actually the first video I ever put on there. Rolfie says, I found this channel in an English group on Facebook. That's why it's important to share this channel with your friends to make it grow and reach 1 million subscribers. Can you imagine that? If I had 1 million subscribers? Wow, that would be amazing. I must admit, that would be rather nice. I think then I would do live streams every day, maybe even twice a day. Who knows? For those who are wondering, 31 days will end this week. On Thursday, it will be the final day of October. So on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, I will be with you from 2 p.m. UK time as we come to the end of English in October. It's quite a shame, really, isn't it? I think some people might be a little bit disappointed. I think so. Do you like technology? I love technology so much. In fact, I love it so much, I made a full English lesson all about it.
Here's a word that might be familiar to you. The word technology generally relates to any complicated tool that has been created to carry out a task of some sort. This task can be a simple one, such as adding up numbers, right up to the really complex and difficult ones, such as steering a jumbo jet or sending someone to the moon. There are some other words that relate to technology, such as device, which is something that uses technology to function, such as a smartphone or tablet. They are types of devices. The device forms the hardware of the technology, while the programs and applications running inside are the software. They are both forms of technology. It is hard to imagine what life was like before modern technology came along. Technology is used almost everywhere now. In factories and offices, in our leisure pursuits, in our cars and homes, and perhaps in the not too distant future as a part of the human body. It would be fair to say that virtually all of the great technological leaps forward have occurred during the past 100 years. Since the discovery of electricity, our world has been magically transformed into an amazing wonderland where our thirst for information can be easily quenched and the human imagination is encouraged to run free. Do you like technology? Would you miss it if it wasn't around? What piece of technology do you use the most? A computer game? A mobile device? A super duper talking watch? Which piece of technology are you looking forward to using in the future? A flying bicycle? A driverless car? An artificial brain? A holographic TV perhaps? Will they ever be reality? Only time will tell. So there it was, one of my full English lessons, an excerpt from Full English number 15. I hope you're enjoying today's live stream. Yes, we are live for a few more moments and then I am going. So you have a few more moments to stay with me and then I will be off. Hello to Noemi, who says, I agree with Marwa. You deserve more than 1 million subscribers. Well, sometimes, you know what they say about life, sometimes the things you want, the things you desire are always out of reach. So sometimes, yes, it is a little bit difficult. Eric asks, Mr. Duncan, did you finally receive your special gift from YouTube? No, I've never received any plate or play button from YouTube ever. Isn't it strange? So it would appear nowadays to be awarded something on YouTube, you have to sit in front of your computer and play computer games all the time, and then just shout and swear, and then that's it. YouTube will give you a special prize and lots of money as well. Isn't that nice? However, if you put a lot of work into your videos and do it for 13 years, the rest, as they say, is history. Emilio, interesting, as all of your lessons are. Thank you very much. We have become addicted to your live streams. What will we do after the 31st of October? Well, I suppose you can always watch all of my other videos. There are many videos on YouTube. On my YouTube channel, don't forget, like and subscribe. You can subscribe to my channel and then you will never miss another video or live stream. So there will be more live streams after
the 31st of October, but not every day. So I won't be doing live streams every day. There will be some changes, and I will tell you all about those as the week goes on. So on Thursday, I will tell you exactly what is happening on my YouTube channel after November the 1st arrives. I found this channel by advice from the best channel to learn English, and since I started to see Mr. Duncan's lessons, I couldn't stop. Mr. Duncan is addictive. It is almost as if people are addicted to English. Wow, I like that. Hello also to Zaid. Mr. Duncan, we want full English grammar basic courses. If you keep typing the same thing again and again, please. I've seen your message. Okay. See, this is what happens sometimes. Dear me. When will people learn? I've read your message. I have seen it clearly. And I have responded to it. Please tell us, what do you think people think about Russia as a country? What do English people think about Russia? Well, I'm sure there are many people who love Russia. But of course, there are always people who will hate everything or anything. There are people who hate English people. So maybe if I go somewhere in another part of the world, maybe there will be people who hate me. That is something that happened to me personally when I was in China. I got a lot of criticism, a lot of hate from people who didn't like an Englishman being the centre of attention. So, yes, it could refer to anyone, really, anywhere. There are people who dislike Germans or French, or maybe some people who dislike Australians. So there are people who don't like Russia, and there are people who do. Between you and me, I am always fascinated by the history of many countries, including Russia. So during the periods of time when a country changes from one thing to another, it is always interesting. The same thing has happened here in the UK. So over the years, there have been many changes to the way people behave, or maybe the way the government works, and of course the monarchy. So I suppose the biggest change here over the past 400 or 500 years must be the monarchy, the rulers of this country. They used to have all of the power, but now they have very little power in this country after the signing of the Magna Carta. Patrick, hello, I like Russian vodka and also girls. Well, good for you. Very happy to hear that. Atiaf, I don't like Iranians. Oh, okay then. I don't know why. Why don't you like Iranians? I've never met an Iranian that I didn't like. But then again, as I go around the world, I try to find nice people to talk to. But there are good and bad in all societies and all countries, including here in England and the UK. So everywhere has its good points and its bad points. Sometimes people will focus on the good things, and sometimes they will focus on the bad things. So it depends, really. It depends. Sheriff says racism is not good. Well, I suppose so. I think it's fair to say that being racist is not good or logical, to be honest, when you think about it. It makes no sense. Connell says, I was searching for the silent letters in English on YouTube, and I discovered my lovely teacher, Mr. Duncan. Thank you, Connell. I'm always interested to find out how people found my lessons. So I suppose I'm a little bit different
from other teachers, because sometimes I will talk about subjects that other people won't talk about. So, for example, I did a lesson all about death, a very hard subject to talk about, and yet I did it. I did it. I didn't want to shy away. I decided to be brave and push the boundaries. So many, many years ago, I made a lesson all about death, a very hard subject to talk about. Rosa is here, also Arman, ZT, Abdullah, Mr. Duncan, greetings from Bahrain. You are the best English teacher and you have a unique way of teaching English. Can you use other platforms? Platforms like Instagram for teaching and also Twitter. Well, first of all, I do have a Twitter account. So I do use Twitter, but not very often. Because Twitter is not really an education platform. You may have noticed that Twitter is a place where people go to fight and argue over all sorts of things. I do have an Instagram account, but again, I don't use it very often. But I do have a Facebook account. You can also find me on Facebook. Facebook, there we go. Facebook. There is my address on Facebook and also my email address. So yes, I do have a Facebook channel, and that is the one that I use the most, besides YouTube. So you can find me on Facebook. And quite often I will post lots of information as well to tell you what's happening in my world. So don't worry about it. There are lots of ways of getting in touch with me. Why would someone hate a whole country? Because of a bad act of someone else or somewhere else. Well, it does happen. Sometimes people are not logical. They come to conclusions about things, maybe. Atiaf says, Mr. Duncan, once again, I have to tell you your pronunciation is fabulous. Thank you very much. I am going in a moment because it's 3 GMT. So don't forget, we are now GMT. That is our time zone. So no longer are we British summertime. No, that's ended. Now we are GMT, Greenwich Mean Time. So that is the time zone that we are in here now. Patrick, thank you very much. Thank you also to Rahul. By the way, if you want to make a donation, yes, I have a donation account on PayPal. So for those who would like to send a donation, don't forget everything I do for free. For 13 years I've been doing this, and I never charge you anything for my work, including this live stream. So there is the address for your donations. If you want to send a donation, you are more than welcome to do so. If you've just won the lottery, maybe you've just won the lottery, maybe £1 million. I don't know. Pachu, sir, can you tell me whose sound is recorded on the International Exam Preparation course? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know who it actually is. I know when I was in China, I recorded some of the tests for the listening exam in the English examinations in China. So yes, I did that myself. But I'm pretty sure that isn't me. So I'm not sure who the voice is on the International Exam Preparation course. I don't know. Thank you very much for your company. I am going now. I hope you've enjoyed today's lesson as we approach 8 minutes past 3 o'clock. I hope you've had a lovely day. Let's have a look outside briefly. Ooh, it's gone a little bit dull outside now. Oh, look at that. It's a little bit dull. That's not very nice. I'm hoping that that will get a little bit brighter. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you, Sued. Thank you also to business. I'm still interested to find out what your business is.
maybe we will talk about that tomorrow. So see you tomorrow. It is the final 4 days. We only have 4 more days of October and then it's all over. This is Mr. Duncan in the birthplace of English saying see you tomorrow, 2 p.m. UK time. And of course, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Until tomorrow. Ta-ta for now.